pushes way up the racetrack, and now here comes Janzik. Janzik goes by Query, and he goes by Inman. Burnell gets a great run, another 3 wide for the race lead. It's going to drag race off of turn 4. Shepard is there, but it's Larry White at the line. Still going to be Pat Ward, and they make contact. Britton has broken the race car. AJ Slideways. Alan Johnson wins.
Whether you hug the infield tires or rip the cushion, you found the fastest dirt track podcast in motorsports. Welcome to Where Legends Are Made, the official podcast of Land of Legends Raceway. Here's Stephen and Brad Ovens.
Welcome, fans, to another episode of Where Legends Are Made, the official podcast of the Land of Legends Raceway. I'm the announcer and host of Where Legends Are Made, Steve Ovens, here joining you for another great podcast this week where we will interview two different drivers. One is not exactly a racing rookie, so to speak, but he will be a rookie in the 305 Sprint Car division. Still has his street stock. He'll tell us all about that, how he got into sprint cars. We're going to talk to Adam Depuy, driver of the 99, looking forward to his first competitive laps around the Land of Legends Raceway in a sprint car this weekend at practice. Practice is coming up Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. General admission is free. You can come out and sit in any of the grandstand seating that we have available. Pit passes are $25 if you want to roam about the pits and check everybody out that's got their cars out for their first laps around Canandaigua for the first time in 2023. So we'll talk to Adam Depuy a little bit later on in the program this week. We also will hear from Stirling Lubricants Sportsman rookie competitor Behr Grover. Got a couple of new Legend Sportsman wins to his credit last season. He is getting ready to step up into the Sportsman division, a very highly competitive division, but Behr has been successful in everything that he sat down in. He tells us a little bit about his young racing career, and I mean, geez, a young racing career. Damn, the kid's been racing for 10 years or better now, and had a really great conversation with him. We'll hear from him a little bit later on in the program as well. And then at the end of the show, your opportunity to get a pair of passes to opening night on Saturday, April 22nd. It's our 70th anniversary opener at the Land of Legends Raceway. $3,000 to win for the big blocks. That's Saturday, April 22nd. And it just happens to be our debut for weekly streaming on Dirt Vision. We'll also be streaming on landoflegends.tv.com for free and on the Land of Legends app, as we have all along since we came out with Land of Legends TV. But now we'll be simulcast on Dirt Vision. Can't wait for that. All the Big Block Modified fans that have got that Dirt Vision subscription will now be able to tune in and watch the Big Blocks from all over the world. Land of Legends TV was already broadcast in 21 different countries last season, and I'm sure we're going to add a few more to that being simulcast on Dirt Vision. So we're excited about that. We will have a full opening night preview episode next week, getting ready for opening night, and I want to thank Jack Howell and Howell Properties for sponsoring opening night. Excited to have Jack on board. But coming up Saturday, again, open practice, any car, any tire. Come on out and make some laps at the Land of Legends. We've already had the question, no motorcycles. No motorcycles allowed on open practice. We're looking for race cars here. So that'll be open practice on Saturday the 15th. So if you're watching or listening before practice on the 15th, that's where we will be. Saturday afternoon. Drivers, if you're listening, drivers of the Land of Legends Raceway, and you have not signed up for My Race Pass, by the time this podcast comes out, you've got about 10 hours left to sign up to get entered for a chance to win one of 3 different pairs of pit passes that you can use at any point during the 2023 season. And drivers, you're going to have to fill your driver profile out anyway. You might as well do it today and give yourself an opportunity to win a couple of pit passes. You can use both of them on opening night if you want to. There's no reason not to sign up early, and I can guarantee this. Opening night will be crazy. It always is. It's always crazy on the first night of racing. And if you don't have your My Race Pass profile set up when you get to the track on opening night, you're setting yourself up for a little bit of headache when you want to be focusing on your race car. Get those My Race Pass profiles set up. Get it done early. You don't have to worry about it on opening night. And when you roll in, you can roll the car off the trailer and start talking setup and strategy with your crews and not have to worry about doing all this computer crap on opening night. So do yourself a favor, do our staff a favor, get that profile done. And if you get it done by 11:59 on Friday night, April 14th, you'll have an opportunity to win a couple of pit passes. We'll do that drawing and announce the winners of that on Saturday. Don't have to be present at practice to be in the running for that. You just got to get your profile done and get your transponder number in that profile as well. A lot of drivers that it's either right on your transponder. If you get the membership to activate the transponder, it'll be on that website as well. And if you can't find it at all other places, let me know, let Gary Spade know. We'll try to look it up for you if possible. But get those MRP profiles done and get a chance for some pit passes. So let's get right into it. We got 2 drivers this week, 2 A-Main interviews of the week. After Behr Grover, after we talk with him, we're going to give away a pair of passes to opening night. So stick around for this week's trivia question. You're listening to Where Legends Are Made, the official podcast of Land of Legends Raceway.
By the grace of God and 800 horsepower, it's time for the A-Main interview of the week.
Welcome back, race fans, to Where Legends Are Made, the official podcast of the Land of Legends Raceway. My name is Steve Ovens, and joining us here for our first of 2, we've got double A-Main interviews of the week for you, and our first A-Main interview of the week is a driver that is graduating out of the street stock class, got a 305 sprint car. We'll talk more about that in just a second, but Adam Depuy joining us on the show. Adam, I appreciate the time, and I can't believe the off season is shortly not going to be called the off season anymore.
I know it went really quick this year.
It sure did. And, one of our big themes at the track this year is the 70th anniversary. And, I know that, you've got a lot of good quality years in at the racetrack, but I've been trying to ask as many people as I can, kind of celebrating our history and looking back at these 70 years or as many of them as our drivers have, seen. What was your earliest memories of Canandaigua?
Actually, I started going to Canandaigua in my early 20s. I was always an asphalt fan, and my dad would take us to Spencer every Friday night. And then when I got older, somehow I ended up at Canandaigua and sitting in the stands for probably 5 years. And then I'm like, I think I could do this stuff. And we went out and bought a car, and here we are today.
The rest is history, right?
The rest is history.
What was so growing up a fan of Spencer? What was it? What was it about the dirt that lured you there, or did you just go with a buddy one night, or how'd that happen?
To be honest with you, I really don't remember how we got there. Like I said, for my whole life growing up, my dad took us to Spencer and Richie Evans and all them. And then we got down to dirt one night, and that was it. I mean, we were there every Saturday night.
Let's talk about your racing history. You've etched your name pretty solidly in the full fender record books, and everybody, when I ask them this question, I'm always interested in the answer because it's always different for everybody. But when and I don't know, maybe you've never looked at it, but if you have ever looked at those records and the stats that are posted online, what's your reaction to that?
I really don't believe that we've had that many wins and, against the quality field that we have every week. Um, because we've been in and out of the street stock class since I've been racing. I've raced, 360 late models, crate late models, all that stuff. So to have that many wins against that quality of field week in, week out is pretty amazing.
Absolutely, it is. You've spent a majority of your time, in the full fender division, and so I got to ask. I've seen the pictures of the sprint car. Do we still have the street stock? Is that what? So where are we at with the fleet right now?
Both cars are pretty much done. I do have the street stock still. We haven't decided what we're doing with it yet. It's sitting here up on the lift, all done and ready to go, but we're not sure if we're going to race it, when we're going to race it. We're going to concentrate on the sprint car and see how that goes.
So how did the sprint car come about?
If you want me to be honest, the cost is really what got me into the sprint car. I'm not afraid to take a challenge, get my teeth kicked in a little bit, but the cost really was getting out of hand with the street stock to a point where the 305 actually just made sense from a cost standpoint.
Okay. And that's a great segue because I felt like your win last year against the field and the competitive field that you're racing against now. I felt like your win last year was, and there's going to be people that are listening to this to say, oh, he just doesn't like the CRS cars, and that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them, but when you pulled into victory lane last year, I said, hey, that's one for the non-CRS cars because they have been very strong at Land of Legends. But I just felt like yours was, hey man, that's one for the street stocks that we've known for quite a long time.
Well, and in the car, I bought a car. It was a proven car. This car's got a ton of wins on it from guys, from Byron DeWitt to Josh Pangrazio to Adam Ashcroft. All those guys got wins on this car. So when we bought it, we had we had back-to-back championships with it. And then, the class just took a turn with the hybrid cars, and the geometry on those cars was so much better than what I could ever get out of this car. So yeah, last year it was really I don't know if I lucked into it, but it was a good feeling to get a win against those good cars out there now.
Is there and I'm sure cost obviously plays a factor here, but is there anything else with the type of car that you have with the street? Is there anything else that you can do that would get it closer to where they're at, from that geometry perspective?
Well, I looked at that over the winter, and I did have a guy that was going to do it and redo the whole thing for me, and it was going to be quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So at that point, you gotta, I've been doing this a long time, so I don't have anything to prove, so to speak. So I'm like, sprint car cost. What do I want to do? And we decided to go with the sprint car route.
So how do you take me into the process? How do you go about obtaining a sprint car? Do you reach out to some guys locally that do it? Facebook Marketplace. How do you go about getting yourself into a sprint car?
Well, I helped Ethan out a little bit, throughout the years, just wrenching on the cars, got to know him a little bit. And I hung out with most of the guys, in the pit area that race sprint cars and stuff. So Dan Cron had a car sitting around, so I bought that. Jason Whipple retired, so I bought some of his stuff. and we just, it was just pretty much word of mouth from my perspective.
How is the, getting things, maintenance, and how much of a transition has that been?
You have to be meticulous. I mean, with the full fender car, you still had to do the maintenance on it, but there's so many. You got to be really meticulous with the sprint car, from the injection to the fuel system to, just everything is. You have to be spot on with that stuff. You can't make a mistake.
So Saturday, are we bringing it to practice Saturday?
Yeah, I just learned how to start the car last night. So
I was gonna say, I was just talking to that's going to be on the show later on in the program here, a young man who's going to be a rookie in the Sportsman division, and he said, man, these laps on Saturday are probably the most important laps we'll get for a while. And I thought of you. I thought, yeah, here's a guy going to sprint cars. Have you ever turned a lap in one before?
Literally yesterday was the first time I had ever sat in one and started one.
Wow. Okay.
I had no clue what I was doing. We pushed it down the road and hoped for the best.
How do we feel now?
Not too bad. I guess it's like everything else. This was going to be a huge difference, because full fender cars, no matter whether it's a late model or the street stock or whatever, you still sit on the left side of the car. Now I'm in the center of the car. The steering wheel's right, in your lap. So this will probably be the biggest transition I've had in my life of racing.
Well, I wish that I'll probably be, watching everybody's lap times up in the tower, but I might have to sneak out of the tower after your first session and come over and see if they can get the helmet off of your head after your first session. Yeah, I gotta imagine that's gonna be just a blast, man.
I just gotta keep it going straight. That's all. If I do that, I'm in good shape.
Oh man. Well, that's gonna be a lot of fun. When I saw the pictures come up on the racing page on Facebook, I thought, wow, that is gonna be awesome. Like, I mean, do you have any nerves at all?
Not really. Now that I had more nerves yesterday trying to figure out how to start it than I actually am about getting in the car and racing it. You can go as slow or as fast as you want to the first couple laps, but you always have an expectation of where you want to be.
Yeah.
So, we'll go turn a couple laps and then make sure we're still on all fours.
Is it difficult? Because, you take a driver like yourself who's, had a lot of success over the years. Does this coming into a new deal, with a sprint car, like, does that really make you kind of take a step back and say, we're not going to put a bunch of expectations on ourselves. We're going to go have fun and do what we've done all these years, go to the races?
Yeah, there's definitely no expectations. I mean, if we go out there and run good, great. If we run middle of the pack, I'm okay with that. Am I going to be happy at the end of the day that I'm running middle of the pack? No, because of the success that we've had in other avenues. You always want to be, you don't go to the track to finish last.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go and we're going to try the best we can, and hopefully we can, run towards the top 5 and go from there.
I wanted to, the other part, you're obviously a racer at our track, but, iFreeze has been a part of our marketing partners and our program, the last several years now. And, how are things? First of all, thank you again for your support this year, but how are things going business-wise?
Business has been really good. The last 2 to 3 years has really been a boom for us. I hate to say it, but COVID actually helped our business. Everybody went to the frozen food sections.
Yeah.
So, nobody wanted to go grocery shopping, so they all wanted to get as much frozen stuff as they could. And our customers saw that huge influx, and it hasn't slowed down any.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I don't know that there was really a middle ground during those last couple of years. Like it either, really, really helped some businesses or it really put some through a struggle. And I don't know that there was really a middle ground for a whole lot of people.
No, and it's funny you say that because our sister company down in Port Byron, they really got hurt by that. They're fresh vegetables.
Ah,
And they really got hurt by it. And here we are, we're going the other way and they're going way down.
yeah.
So we saw both sides of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for you. Excited to see how everything, pans out. Have a lot of fun with this, certainly. And you're talking about the car. You got a lot of great folks I see on the side of that thing. I want to give you an opportunity to talk about them as well.
Well, I got to thank first and foremost. I got to thank Jason Quigley from Quigley Flooring. He's here in the shop with me. He's been, financial support, wrenching on the cars, just anything I could ask from, he does for me. And then I got Cummings Trucking again. Let's see, I got a couple of new ones, Quigley Concrete, which they came on board late last year with me. Sykes Motorsports. He's actually my neighbor and does all my machining work that I need. He's got all the equipment right in his garage. Blue Collar Boys Landscaping, and another one that came on new this year is Eldridge and Sons Scrap. Jamie's been great to us. He helps us out as much as he can. And then iFreeze.
Absolutely. Gotta have iFreeze on there, man.
Yeah. You got to have that, but I got to have the support from my family and my girlfriend, Stacy. She's been great doing all the posts and the shirts and all that stuff. And she puts up with me being in the shop 24/7 pretty much. The only one that might not be excited is my daughter, Bryn. She's not too happy I'm in a sprint car this year.
Oh, okay.
She's one of my biggest fans. And when I said I was getting a sprint car, she just about killed me.
Oh, boy.
So we'll see how that goes.
Worried about Dad.
No, yeah, she is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, no matter what division you're in, I think there's a lot of conversations like that, that happen throughout the pit area. So I give a lot of respect to you guys that, have to, talk about those things. And, we never want to see that anybody, I know Paul said several times, he has a good night when everybody gets in the car and goes home. So,
you aren't kidding,
yeah.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're your worst enemy. You never want to see anybody go through that at the track,
No.
And it's, it's like a family. So you try to do the best you can. And, you always hope for the best.
All right, man. Well, good luck with, final preparations here. We'll see you this weekend. And like I said, man, take a look around and enjoy those first laps. I can't imagine the excitement / nerves / whatever might be, competitive juices are going. Have fun with it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Steve.
All right. Adam Depuy joining us here on Where Legends Are Made. He's certainly made a lot of his own history over the years here at the Land of Legends. And we're getting ready to start our 70th anniversary season. And we kick it off with open practice here Saturday afternoon into the evening, 4 o'clock to 8. So be sure to check us out. No live streaming this weekend. You want to come out and get that, as Bob Miller says, get that first snoot of race fuel. Come on out and check us out this weekend. We'll be right back after these words. We've got Behr Grover, rookie in the Sportsman division, coming up next here on Where Legends Are Made.
By the grace of God and 800 horsepower, it's time for the A-Main interview of the week.
Well, that's right, race fans. We've got double A-Main interviews of the week for you this week here on Where Legends Are Made, the official podcast of the Land of Legends Raceway. Steve Ovens here with you. And Joining us now for his first interview here on the pod, Behr Grover, one of our sportsman competitors, now going to be the Stirling Lubricants Sportsman at the Land of Legends. Behr Grover joining us here. He drives. Now, Behr, your car number is going to change this year, right?
Yep, it's going to be 34 this year, like we ran throughout karts.
Okay, all right. So going to be the number 34 here for 2023. And Behr, that's a great place to start. I know there's quite a deal of history of racing in your family, but where did it all start for you?
I started when I was 4. I think I was just about turning 5. Up at Paradise Speedway, started racing karts there. Yep.
That's probably got to be one of your earliest memories of racing, I assume, is doing it yourself.
Yeah, so the earliest thing I guess I remember was the first day that I went up there was a practice day, just when the season was starting for my first drive in a kart. So I remember that pretty well.
What was it that gave you the racing bug? Was it going there to watch them that day and saying, "Hey, this is something I want to do"?
To be honest, I guess it's been a lot of things. Before then, I would always uh, watch movies about racing, play with cars when I was that age, stuff like that. And it was also something my dad did. He would talk about, and I seen his car when he had it for the short time that I was alive. Before
Yeah.
he sold it.
That was my next question. I know, he had a lot of success on dirt and asphalt running
Yep.
NASCAR tour modifieds. But that was my next question was I couldn't remember if there was any overlap from when you were born to him racing the tour mod.
So, yeah, there was a little bit. I never actually ended up going to the races. I seen the car in the garage though, because he got out of it for a while, and then he bought bought a new car once I was born. Because a little bit, the few years before I was born, he wasn't racing. But like I said, he got the car back. I just kind of seen it in the garage and stuff. Never actually went to races though.
And for our listeners that not familiar with Behr, we're talking about his father Travis Grover, who had a pretty cool nickname back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty jealous. The Rushville Rocket, Travis Grover. Now, Behr, I gotta ask, is that a name that has ever crossed over to you, or do you have your own kind of racing nickname?
Well, not yet, but a few people back in karts, the camera people and stuff, few people at a few tracks too, call me the wheelman. That's the only thing I've got so far.
Okay, all right. I like that. We'll work on that. Um, something that's interesting that I know about you is that you're a big F1 fan. Is that
Yep.
still the case?
Yeah, I do still watch a lot of that.
What was it that drew you to F1?
So basically my whole life I was in NASCAR and oval racing. And I never really got into the sport, never really knew a lot about them. But my dad found a thing about Ayrton Senna, who raced back in 80s, 90s and stuff. I watched that. I seen so many things. I seen me and him in a way. I just really kind of liked the sport a lot after that. Kind of got into it because of him.
That's I thought that was so interesting when I learned that about you is I feel like in terms of popularity, F1 is really growing in popularity here in the States.
It
But
is, yeah.
for a young person like yourself, I don't know a lot of young people that, prior to things like the Netflix series that's out, I didn't know a lot of young people that were into F1. So it's, you kind of strike me as a bit of an old soul. I don't know if you've been called that before.
Yeah, a few times maybe.
Yeah. Do you have a particular driver currently in F1 that you like to follow?
Uh, Max Verstappen is my
Okay.
favorite.
He seems like he's kind of the standard right now.
Yeah, he's probably one of the more aggressive drivers, I'd say.
Okay. And talking about F1 is a pretty good transition because we talked about your start in go-karts, how you started your racing career, but you had a lot of success on dirt, no doubt.
Yep.
But then you made a kind of a transition to racing a lot of pavement road course stuff in the kart as well.
Yeah, we did that maybe like 2 years, maybe 1.5 years. I enjoyed it, but I don't know. Just kind of wanted to move into a bigger car, I guess, faster. But but no doubt we had a lot more success in the dirt. Didn't do bad on the asphalt, but not as good as I hoped to do.
I was going to ask about that because I talked to you last season in the pits, and you kind of related that. You wanted to get into the dirt car and things like that.
Yep.
What is it? You've been in the car several times now. Got a couple wins with the new Legend Sportsman. What is it that you just love about the dirt car you're in now? What's that thing that really just gets you excited about going to the track now?
Well, for me, I mean, obviously the car. It's faster, it's bigger. There's more competition. You can get your name out better. Like my first time on the car was so different. I was so confused with the steering. I had so much play with the steering compared to when I was in a cart. But took a while to get used to that. Once you get the car to bite, get the setup right, it's fun to drive.
And you really took to it quite well. The first couple nights that you guys came out to run at Land of Legends, you could see it just like you see in every rookie driver. There was a period of time where it took you, some laps to get acclimated, but by season's end, it really seemed like you were gaining a pretty decent comfort level with it.
Yeah, there was a few times setup wise we got it right. A few times it could have been like maybe the setup was not adjusted to the track right, but we were checking lap times and stuff. I for our final, I'm not sure which race it was, but for the final when I was running the new Legends, I would have been second place throughout racing lap times with the real Sportsman. But um my one Sportsman race I did have there in the Sportsman class. Uh, I felt like that could have been a good race, but about maybe lap 10, 15 brakes went out on the car. So
Oh,
it's going to be challenging this year because don't have much experience in Sportsman because I ran the Outlaw race once. But
yeah. What is the thing, going into this year? I mean, this will be all different for you, running with the sportsman division. A lot of good competition there. What is the big thing that you have, or that you and your crew have talked about, this is an area where we want to, make some improvements right out of the gate.
so biggest improvement I think I can make, I really need to stay consistent and I need to learn passing skills, like, and I guess you could say how to make a bump with someone without screwing yourself up and making a clean pass at the same time. So I guess passing's a big thing because I haven't done a lot of it, but hope I catch on soon.
How excited are you to get going? We're gonna have some awesome weather this week, and race season's almost upon us.
Yeah, I'm really excited. A little bit nervous, but more excited.
What is the up to now? What do you think the best piece of advice that you've gotten so far has been?
Well, I guess drive the car how you want to, not how other people think you should do it. Slowly just adjust to the car.
Yeah. I saw recently you guys posted a picture of what the car will look like this year, and got those primary colors. You got a lot of red, a lot of yellow
Yep.
there. Is the design of the car or the color scheme, is that something that you put a lot of input into? Or I know some
Yeah, me and my
drivers.
dad figured that out.
Okay. I know some drivers that'll just go to the graphics guy and say, hey, just come up with something that looks good. But I wondered how involved you're in the process.
Nope. A lot of it, we were looking at the cars up in the Syracuse car show, seeing that took a little bit. We were originally going to do more of a plain design, but I guess I decided we should add some yellow to it. Switch it up.
And with, the debut and what the car is going to look like and everything, I know you guys got a new sponsor on board that's been a great supporter to a lot of race teams and the track itself too. Tell us a little bit about your new sponsor signing.
Yeah, we got to give a huge thanks to Behr Trucking on there. They're new on the car this year. First sponsored by someone besides the Grover businesses like Amanda Grover Real Estate, Grover Property Group. But yeah, huge thanks to Van Bortle Trucking, Ike Van Bortle. Gonna help us out a lot.
And I know too that a big part of making this whole racing program go around is you're doing a lot of this work on the car yourself. You're not just jumping in the car on race night. I know mom and dad have really instilled a great work ethic with you. So you're one of these drivers that, yes, Behr might be a young guy, but man, you're out there in the shop turning wrenches and learning what this car does and why it does what it does.
Yeah, it's just been me and my dad to put the car together and stuff. Got it all ready. Me and my dad did.
What tell us about the car you guys are bringing this year?
2023 Bicknell car. It's pretty much done. We bought it just as the roll cage, I guess you could say, chassis and everything. Got everything onto it. Only step now is doing a setup, scaling it, that stuff.
Practice this weekend on the agenda?
Yep, we're going to practice. We're going to end up going to practice this weekend. That's the plan.
Awesome.
And racing the weekend after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this practice day on Saturday, those will be big laps for you, we got the new car and just getting seat time for you. So this practice day, I know it's valuable for, let's say some of the veterans of the track that want to come shake the car down. But for drivers like yourself, these are valuable laps that you don't get on race night.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be just me learning the car, adjusting to it, and figuring out for us what a good setup works, what I can adjust to setup wise. That's really anything we can think of for practice. Really important laps.
Are in terms of looking at this season, are you a goals oriented driver? Do you have any big goals that you want to accomplish this year? Have you guys talked about that, or is this more about getting out there and being competitive?
So I guess the biggest goals I want to get some wins for this season. I really hope to get some wins in it, have some success, finish up front, and be consistent. That'd be the best goal I guess I have.
Awesome. Hey, I want to give you, we talked about the sponsors on the car this year. I want to give you a chance to give a shout out to anybody, and any crew, any family that's helping out with the race team this year.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of people this year. I hope to. Last year, Rich Gordon, he helped us out. Few friends of mine came. His name's Brevin Cummings. His dad, Brian Cummings, came. I want to think of everyone that helped us, but we hope to have more this year because it's going to be a lot. We're in this class, going to be busy. My grandpa, you guys probably know him as Randy Grover. He helped a lot, came to I think all the races. Think that's all. Might be more. I don't want to forget any, but yep.
Awesome. And I know that, mom, dad, your siblings, what's cool is, and we see this with so many race drivers and their families, it's really a family affair. Everybody makes a night out of it and comes out and has a good time.
Yeah, I can agree with that. My dad likes to go. He likes racing. I do. I love driving the car. My sister does. She likes to go to the races, watch. My little sister, I think she does. My
Awesome.
mom, yep.
Good deal, man. Well, anything else that you want to cover here? I appreciate the time to join us on the podcast. I really wanted to try to reach out to some new names and faces that, have either started coming to the track or will start coming to the track this year. And you're certainly on that list coming in as a sportsman rookie. So we wish you a lot of luck and man, enjoy the practice on Saturday. I know there'll be some great seat time for you, so enjoy it.
All right. Yep. Thank you for letting me come on here. That's all right.
There we go, folks. Behr Grover joining us here on Where Legends Are Made. And when we say legends, it's not just the legendary drivers and the crews, man. It's everybody involved, the fans, new drivers coming into the fold. Behr certainly fits into that mold, and I'm telling you, I've followed his progress all the way from go-karts all the way up here to sportsman. Behr Grover is going to be a name that you're going to remember for years to come. He's always worked hard. He's always been successful at anything that he's set out to accomplish. So keep your eyes on that 34 car this year. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll give you an opportunity to win a pair of passes to opening night at the Land of Legends. Stay tuned. You're listening to Where Legends Are Made.
Land of Legends fans, want to win some swag? Listen up for this week's Dash for Cash.
That's right. We're going to wrap up this week's podcast with a Dash for Cash, and it's your opportunity to win a pair of passes for opening night for the general admission section. And it's going to be a trivia question. So you got to work your knowledge, work whatever resources you might be able to find out there to answer this week's trivia question. Now, do not comment with the answer on the Facebook page or wherever it is that you might be tuning into, or if you're watching on YouTube, do not comment with your answer. Entries will only be accepted through private message on the Land of Legends Raceway Facebook page. And here is the trivia question. Which sportsman driver won at the Land of Legends Raceway May 31st, 1953, and also won the sportsman title in 1953? Same driver. All you got to do is send us a private message with that driver's name, and that will enter you. All correct guesses will be drawn for a pair of passes to opening night, April 22nd. What sportsman driver won on opening night, May 31st, 1953, and also won the sportsman title in the same year? You give us that name on a private message to the Land of Legends Raceway Facebook page, you'll be entered for a chance to win on this week's Dash for Cash. That is what we've got for you this week. Want to send a shout out to Adam Depuy, as well as Behr Grover, for joining us as guests on the podcast this week. If you've got a driver that you'd like to hear from on Where Legends Are Made, we're always open to suggestion. Whatever driver that would interest you to hear on the podcast, we're more than happy to reach out to them and provide some content that interests all the listeners out there. So if you got a driver that you haven't heard from, or your favorite driver you want to hear from again, send us a message, let us know, and we will work on getting that driver here on the podcast for you. But until next week, we will have, again, our preview episode for opening night 2023, our 70th anniversary season. My name is Steve Ovens, saying thank you for joining us. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like our videos on YouTube, as well as subscribing to the podcast, and get those automatic podcast downloads on wherever it is that you download podcasts from. We're available on several different platforms. So check us out there. Appreciate you tuning in. And we'll see you Saturday for opening practice. Again, April 15th, gates open at 2, practice from 4 to 8. We'll see you over in the pits or on the grandstand side. Thanks for tuning in.
Land of Legends Raceway fans, tune in each and every week of the racing season to Where Legends Are Made, a podcast dedicated to covering the drama, excitement, and hear from the drivers from your favorite dirt track. Stephen Ovens and Brad Ovens walk you through the week that was Where Legends Are Made. Subscribe on Apple or Google Podcasts and visit landoflegendspodcast.com.
Fans of Land of Legends Raceway and the Where Legends Are Made podcast, we've got a great opportunity for you to feature your business. We have opportunities here to sponsor Where Legends Are Made. We have all different features of the podcast. You can pick to be a sponsor of one of our heat races. Maybe you want your business name attached to the top 10 read-offs for the week. Maybe you want your business to be the one that's heard when we play our highlight of the week. Maybe you're a history buff. You want to sponsor Heat 3, where we talk about this week in Land of Legends Raceway history. Maybe you want to be the main sponsor. So when we interview our main driver of the week, you want to get your business out in front of that. We've got plenty of opportunities for you to do so, and we can work inside of any budget. And believe me, if you're listening to this and you're saying, oh, I don't think my business has the advertising budget to sponsor a podcast, believe me, we can fit inside of anybody's advertising budget. Get your business a little bit of advertising here on Where Legends Are Made. Contact us right here on the Land of Legends Raceway Facebook page if you're interested, and put your business in front of all of our fans where legends are made.